Welcome live at Best Buy fans to our exclusive Best Buy Reward Zone interview with the New York Dolls. Today, we bring you the first of many exclusive interviews throughout the year. Today, we're here to celebrate the release of their newest album, Dancing Backward in High Heels. Guys, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
We had a couple of fans submit questions through our site regarding the new album and regarding you guys. The first question was, what was the inspiration behind Dancing Backward in High Heels? Tell us a bit about the creative process behind the album.
David, you want to?
Well, first, can I say this is positively Orwellian? And second of all, the inspiration behind... Oh, I know what the inspiration was. We got a phone call from our management, and they said, you guys have to make a record now. And then we thought, like, ooh. So then we busily got to work. At least Sil did. And came up with some, like, really beautiful melodies and arrangements. And then we went into the studio in Newcastle, England, and started recording them. And after 3 weeks of intensive creative working, we came out with the masterpiece. Can I see that for a minute?
Sure.
The masterpiece that I hold before you. Dancing Backward in High Heels. And look at those legs, my God.
Whose legs are those?
They're beautiful. That's someone we can't divulge whose legs they are.
To protect the guilty.
Exactly.
Awesome. The second question was, has the songwriting process for you guys remained the same throughout your career, or did it change at all for the new record?
It's very similar to the way it always was with me and Sil, I think, writing songs, don't you?
Yes, but it's always different there too. We
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
always
kind of
different.
hold ourselves into any particular way to do it, and it's always open and creativeness is just a flowing thing instead of trying to put borders on ourselves and so we create. It's a pretty organic process in going about things, and what gives us a headache we kind of put aside, and what works easy we like easy, right?
Yeah.
When it's easy, man, it's fun, and then it's not premeditated.
Very cool. Are there any moments from this past album that stood out? Like one of those nights where you just wake up and an idea's in your head and you just write the song?
Well, you know what? I my first song that I came up with this was at the end of the summer, and I think that sort of kicked off, like, not a theme to say, but at least a subject to stick by, and it sort of went like that.
Very cool. Who
Which
writes?
I took to mean the end of the world
Yeah, he changed.
when I was writing the lyrics. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's what is it? It's murder and everything.
I found out now it's not the end of the world, but it could be.
Living here is murder, but everywhere else it's suicide.
That's right.
Nice. And who writes the songs? Who composes? Well, obviously, you guys must work together. So you guys toss ideas back and forth, see who likes it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, we really don't have like a set pattern, So we do the creative thing. We try to, stay clean to any, premeditated thing or whatever, set by audience or ourselves or anything. Life, we just kind of, keep the creative process open, and, we usually don't have anything ready until we go to the studio. We procrastinate right up to the last minute, and we tell everybody, our managers and our record companies, oh man, we were so ready, but we're usually not. And it's so much better, that way you just create instead of like, okay man, show me the demos, and
Well, USA Today
Yes.
reported this morning that your new record is a masterpiece.
wow,
So sometimes it pays off not to be ready, right?
always pays off not to be ready, not just sometimes.
Well, what's,
in our
if
case,
you're ready, then you're not going to do what you thought you were ready to do anyway.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
The studio
Kinda jinxes
is like another element that takes you with it, So whatever's happening, you start following. And if you don't follow that and put the brakes on and say, no, I'm going to stick to what I already worked out, then you're never gonna create magic that way. You're just gonna kind of like recreate your demo or something, you know.
So it sounds like it's more in the moment for you guys then.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's spontaneous, to say the least.
Great. Some groups enjoy recording in the studio. Other bands they prefer months of touring. Which do you guys prefer?
What, touring or being in the studio?
Yeah.
Well, if you're in the studio and you're not at home, it's kind of like touring and being in the studio, I guess, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. As long as we go someplace that's fun.
Well, it's they're both very different, but obviously we put them both together when we go into the studio. In our past, we did it kind of live. In this particular record, this album was basically, it started off from the demos, and that was like our, track number one, let's say. And everything else was sort of layered on top of it. And we really, made magic that way. We had an incredible producer who really understood, what was to be, could hear the tracks sort of finished in his head. Jason Hill. And our drummer, Brian Delaney, was just perfect. They both, sat there for days, try to just get just a sound on the drums, just so it's not just a tweaked snare and a bass drum kicking, and so we really gotta,
You made him sound like cardboard boxes.
Exactly.
Which is the sound that I like.
Exactly. Yes. And we take like a piano and try to make it like it's sounding like a guitar, and then we know we're ready.
Right.
And when
Get
the
a saxophone, try to make it sound like an automobile.
Exactly. And the drums, like David said, cardboard boxes was our inspiration for the
Nice.
sound.
What about the live shows? Do you guys prefer the smaller venues or the larger festivals?
We just like to work. We appreciate the jobs. No.
Yeah, we like playing. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
where we play. So.
Yeah. No, live is great. That's
Live,
how,
yeah, we like
that's-
playing, but it
that's-
doesn't matter if it's a big place or a little place.
Yeah. That's how we learn
Well,
our
big
craft.
places are good because you make more money.
Right. Well, you guys have 2 nights coming up at the Bowery.
Yes.
You guys excited about that?
Oh, yes. David's
We are
very excited.
thrilled.
David's gone shopping for the whole incident, so he's very excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone shopping since 1978,
I went
so
shopping. I bought a pack of cigarettes
he bought cigarettes.
and a large coffee.
So you're not revealing anything that you're wearing for those 2 nights.
Oh, what I'm going to wear? I'm going to wear a pair of pants and a shirt and some shoes.
Very cool.
And a boa.
And of course, a bow.
The boa that cost like $18,000.
$700 boa.
Oh, $7? Oh, I thought it was $18,000. What?
$7, $18,000. Does it
It's
really
all-
make a difference?
To us, it's a drop in the bucket.
Very cool. So the Dolls obviously are considered a legendary, iconic band, and you've been credited with inspiring so many artists. What does that mean to you guys? Is it something that you embrace and are proud of, or do you not like to be labeled that way?
I think, for us, because we're artists, that if we inspire people, that's like really gratifying.
Cool.
How about you?
Well, I mean, that's the job of an artist, like you always taught me, David. It's to inspire and, turn on, and that's really the job for us, to do. So, not that we do it, it's all subconsciously done, but it's something that we hold it deep inside, to be true to our music.
I think, especially the people we appeal to because they have like mega existential angst. And any little thing that will help them, aid them in getting up in the morning or in the afternoon. I mean, just getting up is what I mean.
We did our job.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Very cool. So what are some of the artists that inspired you guys when you first started?
Oh, God.
Like, we're like inspired by everything that we ever dug, so it would be really hard to
It's vast.
to mention it all, But like when we were kids, we liked soul music, like Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding, and we liked girl group music, and we liked doo-wop music, and we liked like British invasion music, and put all that stuff together, and
Rockabilly.
yeah, I mean,
Eddie
so
Cochran.
much stuff,
Very cool.
We threw it all together and through our time, we found it very voidish and sort of boring. What was going on when we were coming around, and it was basically stadium rock, and it was all, the song became an opera, and it was 20 minutes long, and so it was we had always sort of a little rascal's approach to show business, and that's, through our mundaneness, finding the industry at that time, we said, hey man, let's put on a show. What are you going to get the curtain? Well, my mom's got her bed sheet or whatever. Where we're going to get the makeup?
Where are we going to get the dress?
The dress.
Oh, my mom's
Salvation
got one
Army.
of them, too.
Well, your mom, but not mine. But anyways.
Fun times. One fan.
Those nice Toreador pants.
The capris.
A fan submitted a question. One of my favorite songs off of the new album is Funky But Chic. Do you go into the studio with the lyrics set, or do you improvise some of them while recording? Off the groove of the song alone, it feels like you're in the moment. The energy is that
I
good.
think I'm qualified to answer that. That particular song, Funky But Chic, we had completely written before we went into the studio, like professionals. But that's the only one that was like really completely written. As a matter of fact, we were singing it a couple of days before on stage, before we even went into the studio. But the other songs, we pretty much created, in the studio. As far as like how the melodies and stuff like that went, Sil had all that stuff going on in his head, and he had some of it on tapes that he had made at home and stuff. But mostly we just start recording, and then like these guys are recording, and I'm sitting there with them like scribbling out lyrics, and at the end of the day, we have a song. So
Cool. Do you ever get any of those last minute ideas once you're in the vocal booth ready to record and
Oh, yeah.
you just run with it?
yeah, you just gotta let go and let it take you where it's going. I would say, it doesn't matter if you screw it up because you can always do it again. But making this record, I would go in and do like the rough, and it'd say, okay, that's good enough. Next. Because they're in such a hurry, these guys. It's the thing, they'll spend 3 days on the drummer. When it's the singer's turn,
2 seconds. You're out of here.
come on, pal, hurry up, huh? We want to get out of here.
Well, it costs a lot more, to have one mic instead of like 10 to set up.
I don't know what it is. Must be the insurance.
Do you have the same luxury though when you're recording live as opposed to recording the actual sections and overdubbing it? Do you have that luxury of, all right, I'll run with this, but if it doesn't work, I can record it again because the whole band is recording live.
Well,
So
when
what
you-
are some of the differences between the two?
Well, live should be live, I mean, there is some live recordings that, you might overdub the, background voice or an extra guitar to double things to get it to the right, sound and thickness, whatever. But, the really recording, you got to pass that sort of that line where it becomes magic instead of just a glorified demo. When you do live, it's like, I mean, it's great, and it's live shows, live recordings are just, some of them are absolutely fantastic. But in this case, for ours, we really went into the, to come up with something that the record was really, the song was really calling for, and became not just anymore, okay, here's the drums, here's the bass, here's the guitar, here's the singer. Now it went into like a magic point where it became like, like a piece of, I don't know, art.
Say it, art. Go ahead,
Art.
say it.
I'll say it, art.
No, like, also, and that's very well put. And the last record we made, Cause I Said So record, was essentially like a live record. Because we all played it once.
Yes. Yes.
But on this one, we didn't all play it once. We just, whoever we could dig up, we played. And then everybody else played.
Oh, no, we were pretty pragmatic on even some of the people that joined us on the record. Like the background singers, these girls, they started out coming, we were introduced to them by, they were our caterers bringing our food every day. And then one of them started to sing, and And Jason Hill heard it. Oh man, you sound great. Okay, you're in the studio tomorrow. And basically, she brings her girlfriends, and then, on especially there on Funky But Chic, the song that you brought up, helped with us too. I mean, it wasn't just them, but especially on I Sold My Heart to the Junk Man, which is a cover song. It's an old Patti LaBelle song, and they were really cool on that. They came out great. And so we use what we have in hand and where we are, and try to make the best out of everything, as usual.
And the last song, guys. The last question. Your favorite song off of the new album, Dancing
new album,
Backward in High
David?
Heels?
End of the summer.
Me, I say Funky But Chic.
Thank you.
Why those?
Why?
Particular.
Oh, now another question.
Yeah, that's another. You see, you said
You
there was
see
the
that?
last
This is the last question.
It piques at your curiosity.
Because Sylvain and I belong to the Mutual Admiration Society.
And that's it. And there you have it. So there you go. Live at Best Buy fans, our exclusive Best Buy Reward Zone interview with the New York Dolls.
Thank you, everybody.
Make sure to pick up their new album, Dancing Backward in High Heels, BestBuy.com, Best
know
Buy
those
stores.
legs
near you.
And when you see us this summer being advertised someplace, we're on tour, so look for us, and please come out and check us out. And catch you all later. Bye-bye.
That's just the way it goes.